It's time to stitch the sun hat on the Sippin on Sunshine Quilt. The sun hat is on page 27. I have my fabric backed with interfacing and I have my batting. From the embellishment kit, I have a piece of the light tan leather, the red felt, and the white micro velvet. The white micro velvet I have backed with a lightweight non-woven interfacing. It's the same interfacing I used for the pinwheels. I think it gives the micro velvet just a little bit of structure and smoothness. Let's stitch the sun hat. I've opened my USB. I'm going to go to the combined files folder and my section 2 folder and choose the sun hat. I will select set and embroidery. I have my stabilizer hoop to the top of my hoop, and so I am going to move my design down. I'll go to layout and move and bump it all the way down. That just helps save on stabilizer. I will choose the minus plus needle. I'm going to start with the batting placement. Now I'm going to run the tack down of the batting, and then I need to remember to stop my machine when it cuts the thread so that I can place my fabric. I don't need to trim my batting because I will take care of that after the block is done. There is no background quilting or parts of the design that go into the seam allowance. So now I can tack my fabric. For the background quilting, I am going to use a metallic thread again, and I have used teal a few times. So even though I think the teal would look great because this is kind of a blue background with some blue flowers, I think I am going to go with a green. So I will quilt with the metallic thread, and I will change my speed to the very lowest and stitch out the background. I love the green for the background quilting. It really looks good. So now I've stitched the placement for the sun hat, and I'm going to place the vinyl. Now this is called the leather from the embellishment kit. This is the whole piece. I have not cut it down to size as according to the directions. I'm just going to place it in the corner and stitch it down and then trim. The next step stitches the hat details, then it will stitch the decorative outline for the hat, and then stitch some leaves. ready to stitch the center of this red flower. And again, it has one of those jump stitches that you can see it in here. It starts way down here, and then it'll have a big, huge jump stitch, and then it'll stitch the flower. And there's just no reason that that is like that, because it's locking way down here. And so if it just jumps and starts stitching, you know, the best thing would not be to cut, but you have to, or it would look silly. So I am going to go forward until my needle jumps to the position. And so what I'm going to do is, and again, you can even see it down here. The little plus is kind of covering up, but you can tell that I'm stitching this little tiny pink flower. My plus sign, which is where my needle is going to start, or my step is going to start, is way down here, and you might be able to see a little bit right here of that jump stitch. So I am just on my plus minus needle screen that I always stitch on, and it's for, you know, this comes in handy for things like this. But I am just going to use the plus one, and I'm going to just hit one at a time, and you'll see my little plus sign move. Now the first several stitches are just going to be the locking stitch, so it won't move much, but you can see that it does move a little bit. And then you can see it jumped all the way to the center, and that's where I'm going to start now. Now, again, it's not really going to have a locking stitch, but I just think it's silly to have this stitch right here. I don't know why there's been several already in this project. All right, so let's go ahead and start stitching this little center part. So that looks great. Now, I have not caught any of the other little details that had that big long jump stitch. I've had to cut some on the eye of the bird. I just had to color that in with marker. And I think the only reason that I caught this one and was able to just move forward was that when the needle was ready to start this flower, my foot was way down here, so I knew something was wrong. And that's when I looked closer at my screen and saw that big long jump stitch. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have paid attention, but it was so far over the red, it was way down here, that I knew I needed to check into it, and that's why. All right, so I'm going to finish the little center detail of that flower. So I'm going to sound like a broken record, but once again, my needle is right over this center part of the flower. Not quite the center of this little peach flower, but my needle is right over this peach color stitching, and that is not where it needs to be. I am getting ready to do the little white flower right here. So I look more carefully at my screen, and let me show you what I found. And you can see it. Once again, the design starts way out here and then has this big long jump stitch. Again, that is not how that should be stitching. That's just not how it should be stitching. So I'm going to, again, it's harder to see on this, but you can see the little white flower. You could probably see the outline. And then it's my stitch, my little plus sign is way up by the center of that little flower. I am again going to use my plus one, just my little plus one needle. And I am just going to go one at a time until it makes that jump stitch. So it's going to make several locking stitches, and then it's going to jump. See how far it jumped? That was far, way from the center all the way over here. All right, so let's go ahead and stitch the placement. This is just the placement, but that jump stitch would have been seen. It had to be cut because it's, you know, it was way over into that peach flower. And now you might be able to see, because my plus sign is moved over, here is that stitch of that peach flower way over here, started way down here at the end. Not sure why. All right, so let's stitch this placement and do this little white flower. All right, that's much better. And on here you can see that this is the little tiny micro velvet white flower, and that jump stitch started way back here. Interesting. Now it says to do the nap. I'm not even going to worry about it because this is such a tiny little flower. I'm just going to place it and I'm going to tack it down and then trim it. Now I was just getting ready to take this out and trim it, but this is a raw edge applique, and this little center of the micro velvet fabric or the micro velvet flower is the very last step. So I'm going to go ahead and just stitch that, and then I'll be done with the block and I can trim this when it's out of the hoop. Gosh darn it, this one had one too, and I didn't catch it because it was so tiny. I looked on the screen and I didn't see, it was just so hard to see. But you can tell this little piece right here, it tacked kind of at the base of these two petals and then jumped over. I just can't understand why. But I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to take it out and restitch. I'm going to cut this and I'm going to call it good. But it's very frustrating because those are things that should not be stitching like that. Okay, this is a super cute block though. Let's take this out and trim, and then we'll get this trimmed to size and pressed. I really love this look. The little velvet, because it's kind of fuzzy on the outside, kind of makes it look like one of those rag quilts where it's fluffy. I really like this. I like that a lot. All right. That's done, and now I'm going to go ahead and take out the basting like I always have. I will remove the bobbin thread from the back. I'll cut the bobbin thread like I've done on all of my other blocks. I will pull my bobbin thread out, cut this knot, and then pull this out. Before pressing, I do need to remove my batting and stabilizer. I will use my trimmer by George. I'll fold back this background fabric and I can see the batting tacked down. So I'm just going to place this little lip of this ruler down, and I kind of shimmy it just to make sure it's flat, that none of this fabric has gotten caught under, and I will fold this back to protect that. And then I will line it up next to that stitching. I can see the stitching, and then I just kind of bump my ruler right on top of that so that when I cut, I'm cutting just a hair outside of that stitching line. It really doesn't matter in the scheme of things, other than if I don't cut those stitches, then I don't have a lot of little loose stitches that have been cut. So I cut just barely outside of that tack down line. So I will continue and cut the rest of the sides. This pressed out really nice. It looks really good. Now because I have taken out my tack down, I need to flip this and cut it from behind. Again, it's always an option to leave that tack down of this background fabric in and cut it from the front. You can, with your orange pop rulers, use that as a guide and center it if anything's pulled in. And you could use, a regular ruler as well and just measure when you're cutting. This needs to be cut to 6.5 by 6.5. I will use the orange pop ruler, and because I have a nice clean edge, I will just center my ruler so that there's equal spaces around. Now I did notice that right here I got a little close to this tack down. You can see that some of the stitching is coming out, and that's the reason why I try to cut just to the outside, which is when I line my ruler up, I try to put my ruler on top of this so that I'm actually cutting to the outside, and this is why. It really doesn't affect, much. It's just messy, and I don't want to leave those. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of trim these loose pieces. And so again, when I say that I bump my ruler to sit on top, that's the reason. All right, so I am going to center my ruler the best I can. I usually don't measure, and I just eye the space and cut, and I think that looks pretty good. I have to say how much I love this block. I love the fabric. This is one of my favorite fabrics from this project, is this kind of light blue. It's kind of a grunge linen texture. It's got the really pretty flowers. It's a really good fabric. And I love that the background quilting mimics the design. I love that about Kimberbell. The design is so cute. This leather is, of course, textured, and it looks like a straw hat. I love it. I think that is a really simple but really cute block. I am going to put this back in its little packet and save it until I'm ready to put section 2 together. All right, let's go to the next block on section 2.